This is New Year's Day 2026. I am working on taking apart what was a ugly Christmas sweater, and I'm gonna repurpose all of these squares and make it into something still festive and useful for next Christmas. That is how my 2026 is starting off, and we will see what this turns out to be. Welcome back to another video. My name is Stacy. I am the creator of Twisted Kinks Crochet, and in this video we will talk about goals for 2026. It's kind of crazy to me that we're talking about 2026 goals because I feel like I just did a video for the 2025 goals. And then I want to show y'all the craft room that I work out of. I also came across a box of completed crochet projects. So I want to bring those out. I want to talk about those a little bit. And then we'll talk about how I plan to incorporate books with crochet again this year. So in past video, if you watched, you saw the messenger bag made of granny squares inspired by books that I read in 2025. And I really liked that project. But I don't want to do another messenger bag. So I'm going to do it again, a granny square for every book that I read, inspired by the cover for every book that I read. And then I was thinking I could do a reading jacket. So close your eyes and let me paint this picture, okay? You come home from work, you're ready to relax, you grab your book, you get your candle, you put on some jazz or some soothing instrumental music, you put on your reading jacket, and then you curl up on the couch and dive into your book. So I know when I read, I like to have a blanket that I curl up with. And I thought maybe a reading jacket made from the squares, inspired by the books that I read, would be, a good idea. So that is the plan for me with books in 2026. We'll see if it works. So before we get started, do me a favor, go into the comments and tell me one of your goals for 2026. In all honesty and full transparency, I did not write any goals for 2026. When the new year came in, I did not have one single goal in mind for 2026. And so you caught me jotting down some of my thoughts for 2026. I will tell you the goals that I have jotted down, and we'll see if throughout the year these remain or if they change. So the things that I've written were to read 40 books, and that'll be a little more than three times. Yeah, a little more than three times the amount of books that I read in 2025. So I was kickstarting, getting back into reading. And that's why I did the square for every book and had in mind what I wanted to do with those squares. So that kept me on task. I went through and researched best books from 2025, recommendations for 2025 books. And then I also searched for books to look out for 2026. And in that research, I think I came up with about 45 or 46 books that I've shelved on Goodreads. So if I read 40, then that will be enough, I think, for me to be able to design my reading jacket that I'm going to make out of those squares inspired by the books that I read. So, number one goal, read 40 books. I don't know how I'm going to get it done. That's a lot. So we'll see. Increase my doll production. One of my goals last year was to kind of perfect my doll making skills. And so I did adjust a pattern that I was using to my liking. And I made quite a few dolls, loved the way they turned out. And I just want to continue to make dolls and increase on that. Maybe double the number of dolls that I made last year. So that will put me at about 10 or 12 for this year. So let me write that down. 12 dolls. Oof. My other goal that I wrote was to make more blankets. I gave away last year a box full of blankets, probably 7 or 8 blankets. My mother and sisters, they crochet blankets and donate them to DaVita Center for Dialysis. The reason they do that is because my dad had kidney disease, and so he was on dialysis for quite a few years before he passed. And he would take his blanket made by my mom. People would comment on it. So she started making blankets for him to take down to people that were on dialysis with him. And then she just started making blankets and delivered them to the dialysis center and just saying, just give them to whoever. And that has continued even since his passing. And I don't know if I have the ability to make as many blankets as they, well, now that I'm thinking about it, if I make 4 or 5 blankets, even one blanket makes a difference, right? Right. Back to the 26th goal is to grow the channel a little bit more. So if I get 100 subscribers in 2026, I'll feel like I accomplished something. I did something. I don't know that I said in 2025, I don't know what I want for the channel, but ending the year with single digit subscribers pushed me to say, you know what? I want more subscribers. I want to be in double digits. And I really tried to be in double digits before the end of the year, but it didn't happen. At any rate, here we are today, double digits. And maybe my goal for 2026 is to get to 100 subscribers or maybe 500 subscribers. But I do know that I want to grow the channel. So you all can help me out right now by liking the video and putting a comment on the video. Again, what are your goals for 2026? Give me just one. You can share the video. You can subscribe to the channel. You can do all those things that will help push me out. And then my final goal that I put here is to complete my family history book. Genealogy is another one of my passions, and I've done so much research on my family. My mother's family in particular is going to be easy to do because I know what I know about her parents, her grandparents, her great grandparents. So I can easily put together the family history book for my mother's side of the family. And my dad's side, not so much, because my dad is adopted and did not know anything about his biological parents. So I did my ancestry DNA and have come to a conclusion about who the biological families are, 2 sides, based on DNA connections, common ancestors and their trees, but it does not help me to identify the parent. So my dad's side, still working. My mother's side, family history book is the goal for 2026, to get the book complete, to make copies for other family members. Okay, so let me wrap up the goals for 2026. 500 subscribers, 12 dolls, 40 books, and blankets for the DaVita Dialysis Center, and a family history book. That's a lot, but we can do it. All right, let's look at this craft room. Let's look at that. Okay, so this is the craft room. From outside of the door, we can take a look at how this is set up. You walk in to the right. I have my blue chairs, my workstation, my wall of art, and this is art done by myself and my girls. I have some amigurumi that I've done. I have this little pillow that I made when I think I got the pillow from Dollar Tree, and I had a silhouette at the time. So I made this pillow that says crochet is my therapy. Um I have this shelf where I'm going to start keeping the book that I am currently reading. So as you can see, this is Long Time Gone by Charlie Donnelly. In this book, I will tell you why I chose this book. So I chose this book because it follows the journey of the main character named Sloan, who is a medical student and doing her residency. She was assigned forensic genealogy as a specialty for her to deep dive. She contacted a genealogist, a professional genealogist in her area, and he suggested that for her to really understand how this all works, that maybe she should do her her DNA on the website. She did so, and he rushed her results through because, her residency is a short time frame. He rushed her results through, and what he discovered is that she was actually a missing child from 30 years ago. Her parents and her believed to have been missing. They just went missing. But here she turns up 30 years later. So I won't give you a whole lot of other details about it, but it's a really good book, and I am doing annotation. But it's a good book. So hopefully I'll be finished with that today. I have to be finished with it today because otherwise I'm never going to make that 40. Anyway, so there's the art. My table, it is on wheels. You can see the casters down there. And each slot opens all the way through. So I'm able to stuff yarn on either side. I can pull the, let me see if I can do it. Heavy. Okay, so I can move the table out, and I have things on either side. And there's that. This was a free find. It was actually at my old job, and they were going to get rid of it. This is a project I did. I had some granny squares already created, and they were in different sizes. I don't know what I thought I was going to do with it, but pulled it out, put them together, and my goal is to make a jacket. So this is what it looks like. Hold on for 1 second. So this is what it looks like. I think this is upside down when I do put it together. So this will be the back, and I think this is going to be the top, and then this will be the bottom. So there's that. And then I also have, do not fall. I also have, another project, another cardigan that I was working on using Dollar Tree yarn. And then I ran out of Dollar Tree yarn, and they don't have those colors in stock anymore. So boom, I don't know what I'm going to do with that. And then this came from, I think I showed clips in the beginning of the video of me taking apart a project. That's what that is. It was a ugly sweater that I had made, and I don't use it. I don't wear it anymore. So I decided to take the squares apart, and then I'll put it back together either as a blanket or a Lapgan or something Christmas related, obviously. All right. And then this I got from the Dollar Tree, and I just use this to put all my hooks in. Crochet hooks, big and small, knitting needles, whatever. These also came from the Dollar Tree, and I just use that to put my scrap yarn in, and then someday I'm going to do something with those scraps. Use it to fill a doll or something like that. Now, I could have cleaned up this room before putting it on camera, but I'm not going to pretend that it is what it ain't. So this, another thing I got from Dollar Tree, and I was using this and still will use that to prop my book up. When I talk about the books in the last video, that's what I was using. You just pop the book on there like that, and boom, you have a stand for your books. That is a doll head that I was working on, and I don't know why I decided to do this. I don't know why I stopped. But anyway, that's a doll head. It'll come apart. I'll just take it apart, start all over again. There's a clock that needs batteries. Okay, boom. Let me show you this too. These bins from Dollar Tree, perfect for these cubes. And what I have in this bin are different things that I need when I crochet stuff. So I do random acts of crochet kindness, and I crochet little things. I was doing little cups, like mugs, and putting faces on them, put them in here, and then just dropping them off at like coffee shop or Starbucks or Walmart or wherever. I did little pumpkins, and people do all kinds of stuff. Worry worms, I did those too. And you just drop them off. Random act of crochet kindness, hopefully to help brighten somebody's day. Then I have a bunch of pill bottles, and so I just recycled them. Stitch markers, doll eyes, amigurumi eyes, pom-pom makers, more doll stuff, eyes, buttons, more buttons, child, sewing needles. What else? I think this is a sewing kit. I don't even sew. Lashes for the dolls. So maybe I will use these in the upcoming project. All right. There's that. And then this one just has some yarn from Dollar Tree. And then this one has some scraps and some yarn from Dollar Tree. And a crochet hook that I didn't know I had in there. Moving back around to this side of the room. This I've talked about before. This bin of whips. I will go through that occasionally, take out something, see if I can work on it. If you see this right here, this blue bag was in the bin. And it probably should be, I think I probably took it out so I could start working on a blanket or something of that nature. It is blues, grays, light blue, dark blue, grays. And there are some other projects in there that have been there for a while. But we'll work that out. The Hobby Lobby bag is yarn that I just got for a project that I was asked to make. A baby blanket, orange and purple. Orange and purple baby blanket. So this is what I picked up. Orange and purple. Mango. And this is called periwinkle. Mango and periwinkle. So we will get started on that baby blanket very soon. That stuff there came from one of my last granny squares from the book stuff. This bookcase, I think this was not a free find, but almost free. So from the top my genealogy tree that was made for me by somebody that I used to work with, as we are talking about Juneteenth, and he got a better understanding of why June is significant for us. He had somebody make that for me. Then this tree, I attended a genealogy conference and was given this tree. I liked it so much. Nail polish, and then we have more bins of yarn, scrap yarns. The jewelry box down at the bottom, I use that for jewelry accessories for the dolls. And scraps of yarn, more scraps of yarn. These are little coasters. So let me bring you over here to this table. These are little coasters that just look like flowers. So when you have it like this, it looks like a flower pot. And then you take it out, and aside from the scrap yarn, you have a little coaster. And that's how it looks when you put something on it. Okay. All right, back over here. More shelves. Like I said, I need to either put them up or put them away. A basket that I have more yarn in. This yarn I use for a couple of baby blankets that I just finished. And so this is all that I have left, and I'll figure out what to do with that. And then I have this stand, another free find from the same job. They were going to throw it out, and I said, no, let's not do that. Let me close up this curtain. Instead, I brought it home. I painted it up. Let me get some light. All right, I brought it home. I painted it up, and then I just use it for my art stand. So for the art that we create, that we put on the wall, that's what that is. So paints, brushes, easel, just a little area where I can create. And then coming around is my desk area. Yeah, that's my area for creativity when I'm thinking about what I want to do and when I'm researching the family tree. And then that's another project in there. I don't want to talk about how long it's been sitting there or sitting in that basket, not in that particular space, but in that basket. It's been a while. So there it is. That's the craft room. The closet is also full of stuff, but we're not going to talk about any of that stuff. All right. It's a nice place to be. Like, I really like being in this room. I like the little chandelier. So here's the box that was in the closet of another room. And it has a bunch of projects. So I thought we'd go through it together, make a couple of piles, either give away, take it or lose, sell it or use it. Let's first start by sorting the box and seeing what we have and going from there. This first one, off the bat, this was supposed to be a tote. It actually is a tote. This was supposed to be a tote with an S on it. You know, S for me, S for Stacy. I did not follow the graph properly. And by the time I realized that it was not coming out to be an S, I was like, well, whatever. So I just kept going. And it is what it is, right? I mean, if you turn it this way, it could be a 3. But or an E, right? Could that be an E? Yeah, this could be an E. So I'll give it away. It's going to go in the giveaway, and I will do another one in the right, follow the graph the right way and make an S. Okay, so that'll be and this, another tote bag made from Granny Squares. long straps, front and back. This is cute. I want to keep this, but I probably will never use it. So I think I need to think about this a little bit more. So I'm going to put it over there, undecided. Okay. Masks. Remember during the pandemic? When everybody was doing, we all had to wear masks, and then we were all just crocheting masks. So I remember in 2020, before the pandemic actually was declared a pandemic, before masks were mandatory, my girls ran track, and February was always the first track meet, the week of Valentine's. And so I can remember February 2020 being out there and thinking, it is too cold for this. I'm going to have to crochet one of the balaclavas, the hat with the piece to cover your mouth, right? The neck, the hat, cover your mouth and nose. And then the pandemic happened. Everybody started crocheting masks. And I was like, this is it right here. Just take the mask and put that on. And now you got something that's going to keep your mouth and your nose, maybe not your ears, but it'll keep your mouth and your face warm. So there's that. And I have several of them here. This is a hexagon cardigan, granny square hexagon cardigan. So that's what it looks like when it's laid out. It won't go flat because it's 6 sides. And then this is what it looks like when you fold it and turn it into half of a cardigan. So I do have the other half of this, and I could finish this and give it to a little one. That's pretty. Those colors, I think this all came from one cake. Probably, this was from a Dollar Tree, when Dollar Tree was selling cakes. That's what this comes from. So I'm going to put this in a pile to be finished. Boom. As soon as I find the other half. This is another. Lord, I was really into the hexagons. Another hexagon. So there's one half of another hexagon cardigan. Here's the other half of the hexagon cardigan. So I just need to finish these. I'm going to finish those. Here's the other half of that other one. That cute little sherbet looking one. That. I think I probably ran out of the yarn, didn't know what else, what color to put with it. And so I stopped. But I'm going to finish those. Okay. Another mask. A finished cardigan. So it looks like I just need to crochet in the ends, sew in the ends, and then I can give this away. So in the stack to be finished. Okay. This beanie. I don't know why this is in the I'll keep it. That's cute. And then another smaller bag. Green. So this is ready to go. I can give this away. Don't want it. another hat, another beanie. I like this stitch. I like this stitch. Now, for what reason? Yeah, I don't know for what reason. Another bag, different shape. This is using 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, and 9, 10 squares. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. But there's that. There's this bag. And I'm going to give it away. Okay. This is a dress that I was working on. It's going to be a full-length dress, and I was using the mannequin for my guide. And it just got to be heavy and heavy and heavy. So I think I'm going to take this apart and reuse the yarn. I'm going to take this apart. This stitch is pretty. Yeah, that's pretty. So I'm going to take this apart and reuse the yarn for something else. I don't know what. This same yarn, but I think I was going to use this as the piece that will go to the bottom. Piece that will go to the bottom. I don't know what I was doing, but I'll just take these apart. I'll just take them apart. So these will be taken apart and reused. I'm going to give these hats away. Taken apart. This is a cute little tote bag. The tote bag itself came from Dollar Tree. And then I just created a square big enough to cover it. This was a prototype. Stitched the strap through the top of the granny square. And I will give this away. This was probably going to be a scarf. Who knows? But this is some thick yarn. Thick yarn. And I will probably take this apart and reuse the yarn for something else. What is this stitch? Let's see, it goes this way. That's what the stitch looks like. That's pretty, but I'll take it apart. Another mask. And I just did a ruffle hat out of this yarn. I should have sent it. I did a set for my sister. A hat, a cardigan, and if I had known I had this, I would have sent her this mask too. But I didn't know. So this, another tote bag. But look, Lord. So 2 squares that are the same and on each side. Well, kind of the same. Anyway, don't matter. This is a cute little purse for a kiddo. And then I'm even put a button on it. And I don't like this sew. How cute. I'm going to give it away. This is a crop hooded sweater. Ooh, I think I was taking this apart. But it's a hooded, it was a hooded crop. So I'm probably going to go ahead and finish taking it apart. This was a is a shirt, off the shoulder, one shoulder, and then this had a little ruffle sleeve, so it would look like that. It looked cute on the mannequin. So there's that. And I think I'm going to give it away. Not going to take it apart because this really is a cute shirt. And I think this, I don't know what the stitch was, but it stretches and everything. Let me see if I can show you what it looks like on a mannequin. Hold on. Cute, right? That's cute. And then long sleeve crop rainbow, mesh sleeves, single crocheted, double crocheted the rainbow. So this is my first attempt on a little prototype, and you can see how it bunches up. So pretty sure, I corrected that when I did the actual, but and then the back is mesh. So real cute. And I will give this. I had actually 2 people who wanted these rainbow outfits. This ruffle top I made for, let me find it now. That's the back. This was an off the shoulder ruffle top that I made for my little one to do a photo shoot. So it went like that. I'll put a picture so you can see what it actually looked like, but I'll probably take this apart because if I gave this to somebody they wouldn't know what this was. They wouldn't be able to tell what that is. So I'll take it apart, reuse it. Another mask. Another mask. I don't know if let me see. Oh yeah, that's okay. Another mask. Now I put E6000 to glue these stones down. Oh no, that's cute, but another mask. Boop. The rainbow shorts, along with a spaghetti rainbow top mesh detail. And I will give this away. I will tuck those in, give them away. This Jamaican inspired crop top. That's the top. The back just has the straps where you want to strap it up and lace it up. That's that. That's it. These cups are so easy to make, and then it's so easy to customize. So I may end up doing a video about these. Then I think I saw I think I saw it on Pinterest. I probably should have moved y'all over here because I'm watching what I'm doing on the TV. And the TV is over there. So I can, anyway, it's too late now. It don't matter. But I think I was on Pinterest and I saw the pattern for this little top and I was like, oh, that's cute. So I made it. I will give it away. And then this, and you'll see how it's meant to be worn. It can be worn several different ways. So I will put a picture of what that looks like, but I'm gonna take it apart and use that yarn for something else. So, oh, and then one last thing, this hat. Now, I call myself making a newsboy hat, whatever. Follow the pattern to the T. And look. Well, hold on. It do kind of fit. It look crazy. So I'm going to take this apart and use this yarn for something else. But it has little flecks of shimmer. Anyway, I'm going to take that apart. So the box is empty. I have a 2 finish pile of 3 hexagon cardigans, and they'll be big enough for, well, one is finished, just needs the ends to be sewn in. 2 need to be finished and connected. So I will find the yarn to match those and finish those before January is out. You heard me right. Before January is out, those will be done. And then I have this pile over here, which is stuff that I'm just going to go ahead and give away. So I should probably put it back in the box and then take the box out of this room and out of this house, maybe into the garage, so that I make sure that I get it out. And then I have all of this behind me to be taken apart and reused for something else. So that's that. I'm excited to have gotten that. I'm excited to have gone through that box because, like I said, it's been sitting in the closet probably 2 years now, maybe more. I mean, those masks were from 2020. From 2020-ish, right? So we could say this box has probably been sitting around for about 4 or 5 years. That's ridiculous. That's crazy. So these will be given away into the box. And I'll get the rest of this stuff done, put away, reused, maybe sold. I got 2 things I might sell. I don't know. We'll see. But okay, that's that. That's that for the box. Well, that brings us to the end of this video. If you made it this far, thank you so much for sticking around. I hope that you enjoyed watching me go through the pile of stuff that I have forgotten about for at least 5 years. I hope that you have some goals that you're able to leave in the comments. And I appreciate you being part of the start to my 2026. Please consider subscribing to the channel, liking this video, sharing the video, or again, just leave a comment. Again, I thank you very much, and we will see you back here in the next video. Bye.